y'all doing today? Such intensity in the air today. We have a full moon coming in, and we are already in the window of the full moon because the full moon is in Sagittarius and the moon is currently in Sag, which opposes the sun. Greetings you all. Happy Monday. I came down to the park to do my video, and when I got here I was like, okay, let me just lay down for a minute. I think I've been asleep for an hour at the park. So it is the energy is super intense. Okay, so let's talk about the nodal stuff today. So I like to explain because people don't talk about, the reason I explain every day or every few days is because the nodes are really a very important aspect of our natal chart, of our charts, even our transits, because of the time we're living on the planet. We're living at a time when humanity is in a deep transformation, something that no humans have ever been through. And the nodes are the map. They are the direction to get us to the evolutionary point. And that's true for what's happening in the transits, which I am doing. I'm talking about the transits of the nodes. But that's also true for your own natal chart. If you want fulfillment, happiness, prosperity, health, follow your North Node. Your North Node is the thing that will unlock the energies of what you are meant to express, what you're here to learn this lifetime. And if you become devoted to your North Node, you will find that you always land on your feet. It doesn't mean that things won't be challenging. It doesn't mean that you won't have, the normal human pains that come with being a human being. But it does mean that you will land where you're meant to land. I have been following my North Node since I was in my 20s. And now, looking back, I remember reading the book on the North Node. And now that I am the age that I am now, and I can look back, I can see how I was following my North Node to the best that I could, because I have a North Node in Aries. And so literally the North Node in Aries is like, be selfish, prioritize yourself, be a pioneer, learn to master your emotions, learn to be a leader. Like, those are the things that the Aries North Node is. And when I was in my 20s, all I was thinking about was wanting to be married and wanting to fit in and belong. And that is the opposite of the North Node for me. That is the Libra South Node. And so I was very much caught in my South Node, which is a karmic point. And so at some point I had to really make a choice. If I was going to let go of those karmic codes, of those outdated identities, of those family traumatic patterns, if I was going to let go of them, meaning move through them, embrace them, heal them, so that I could get to my North Node. And I started doing that shortly after my marriage ended. And I realized that I was about to loop right back into another relationship with someone. And it felt like I was about to go on the same thing, like, okay, we're gonna get married, and I heard myself say, are you gonna do the same thing over again that you've already done and attempt to get another result? Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I literally made a choice to not go back into a relationship. And it was interesting because the relationship that I was in was, I was seeing a man who was an entrepreneur, and he literally worked in front of his computer all day long, 15 hours a day. And he was constantly saying, I don't really have time for a relationship. I don't really have time for a relationship. And at some point he changed his story, and he was like, I do have time for a relationship, and you're the person I want to be with. And by that time I was like, I'd gotten clear that I wasn't going to prioritize a relationship. And so when he came and he was like, I do want this, and you know, I want to get married, and I want to be the stepfather or so, whatever it was, I was like, I was complete with it. I was complete with the cycle. And so that relationship ended because I wasn't going to go back into that cycle. And I have never again gone back into the cycle of Western relationship and Western notions of romance. It just ended for me then. And I have been here ever since in my Aries North Node. So this is the importance of the North Node. It is the point of evolution. It is the point of growth. We're doing it for the transits, which we're all in right now, but in your own natal chart. And it is important for you to learn your natal chart so that you can begin to know your codes and function the way you are meant to function. You have a mission and a purpose. That mission and purpose is to be yourself. That's it. People are like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? To be yourself. What's my purpose? To be yourself. Well, who am I? Well, that's the question. You have to determine who you are. It's not the self that you know. It's the self that's in your natal chart. The self that you are now is likely the self that you became to please your parents or to please the culture, or to please the the status quo. And the work is for you to find out in your natal chart. So here's the thing. Everyone has a best relationship structure. It's in your natal chart. So I can't tell you what that is for you without seeing your natal chart, but I guarantee it's in your natal chart. I don't know where your North Node is. I don't know where your Venus is. I don't know those things because some people are here to do traditional relationship. I happen to not be one of them, and I know that. So I don't use my energy that way any longer. And if but there are people that I read for, and I'm like, yeah, you should be doing, monogamous relationship, or romantic relationship is a major component of your own evolution. And so with that, then there are those who can take that on, but it's not for everyone. It is a particular kind of code. So your natal chart is where you would determine and learn what your relationship style or model is. Okay, so for today, we are moving the sun through Gemini. The nodes are connected to the points of the moon, and the moon reflects the light of the sun. So women, because we are more feminine, are governed by the moon, and we reflect the light of men. That's why we take in their energy and then we give them a child back, right? That's how our energy works. That the moon absorbs the light of the sun and then gives back light in the evening. Women absorb the light of men, which is semen, and give back a human being, a child. That is the creative process. If you are a woman who is led by more feminine energy, you take in information and you give out what comes through you. Now, the masculine projects the reality, or the masculine, meaning men, they are the protectors of the reality. That's what the sun does. The sun is bringing the light. It brings all the nutrients to this 3D reality, right? The sun doesn't govern the internal reality. The feminine governs the internal reality. But in this nodal point, the reason I'm talking about the masculine and the feminine, I'm talking about it as man and woman, but it really is masculine and feminine, which is not gendered at all. Feminine energy is internal. Women have greater access generally to feminine energy. Masculine energy is external, the sun. Men have more access to masculine energy, not just generally. When we all have access to all of it, but we have greater strengths and weaknesses, right? And so because the nodes are about the moon, which is reflecting the light of the sun. The moon today is in Sagittarius, which is opposing the sun, opposition. So that means that the energy is very intense. There is a strong polarity today. So the mind can be very busy. There are lots of stories. And here's the thing that we're up to, because the sun is at the 19th degree, which is a Libra degree, which is about the mirror, your relationships, which is what I started talking about, your relationships, right? So with the 19th degree, which is a Libra degree, it's the story about your relationship. So what you want to do, you want to understand your own relational codes, which is your own relational model, so that you can course correct the ways that you have been functioning up till now. So for instance, for years, my relationship model was stuck in my South Node. So I was always people pleasing, rescuing, projecting that people had something that I didn't. Like I was in this karmic experience in my relationship system because I have the South Node in Libra. And now that we have started doing healing on the planet, I have been doing the work to alchemize my old relationship structure into a new one, which means I'm taking on a new identity. Oh, thank you. Which means I'm taking on a new identity, and I am giving myself the permission to evolve. Now, how that looks in my life personally is that I am changing the way I move through the 3D reality, because the 3D reality, is important for us to know that the 3D reality is a hologram. It is a mirror. Everyone in our reality is mirroring back to us aspects of ourselves. So for me personally, because relationship is not my priority this lifetime, when I would be in relationships, they would mirror to me that I have outgrown them. I would have power struggles. I would have, like, it's almost at on some level, I know too much to be in a relationship with a man because my father was a pimp. Like, I just have an understanding of modern day men from the father that I came from that just doesn't allow me to, it doesn't allow, I don't create, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I just am not interested. That's all I can say. It's boring to me. That's the best way to say it. And here's how I work with relationships now. Unless a person in my life has some value that they are offering me specifically, I do not interact with them. If I'm in a relationship with a man, there was a time when I didn't go to relationships with an expectation of being honored or being seen so I would just kind of put up with anything because of that karmic thing. Now I'm really clear. If I'm going to be involved with a man or in a romantic exchange, it's because I'm getting something out of it that really is valuable to me. It's serving me in a way that is worth it. And if it's not serving me in a way that is worth it, so that means I'm really clear about who I am and what my needs are and how I'm functioning in a relationship. So it's important, and I understand that relationship isn't my priority. What's my priority this lifetime is my work, what I'm here to do and be on the planet, how I'm here to serve. And so today, with the sun at the 19th degree of Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius, where we are going to have a full moon tomorrow evening, I believe, we are working with the truth of our true identity. What's the truth of who you are? And do you have the faith to take the steps towards your true self, even if you are uncertain, and even if, because this is about faith. Sagittarius is about faith, and we're coming into a Sag full moon. It's literally And faith is taking actions without evidence. Now, without evidence in the material realm. So the reason I strengthen my faith by understanding the cycles. I literally follow the cycles of light. This work that we're doing is where my faith is, because I know that the planet has been doing this for billions of years. For billions of years, we have been following the same cycle with the sun and the moon. So I can place my faith in that because that is consistent. Now, when I was a Christian, there was a conversation about faith that was like just hoping and believing. That's not faith. My faith is anchored in systems that are billions of years old, that have always existed. And that secures me, it soothes me, it makes me happy. I feel deeply safe inside of myself because my faith is anchored in something that is eternal. So where is your faith anchored? How are you utilizing your creative power? We need faith to create because, when you're a mother and you're pregnant, you don't know who's coming, really. You know what I mean? You have to have faith. And that faith looks like being intentional in what you say and being intentional in your choices and making sure you have goals and objectives, because those things, having goals and objectives and being intentional, it forms reality. It puts form to the reality. And that's why I follow the cosmic codes, because I know that from my natal chart, I am here as a pioneer to give birth to a new reality. And I'm here to assist those and get assistance from those who are on the same frequency as I am. That is what I'm here to do. And I know that because I study my natal chart like it's the Bible. Like I live inside of it, knowing, okay, oh, this action, this behavior doesn't align with me anymore. This experience that I've been in for 35 years, okay, it's time for me to outgrow that. This way of being is an ancestral trauma. That doesn't serve me any longer. Like literally, my chart helps me understand how I'm meant to think, actions to take, rituals to perform, so that I can outgrow my old way of being. Like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. It is a metamorphosis. It is a process. And we are all in it right now. And the question is, how are you with it? What are you doing? What tools are you using? I don't believe that my way is the right way. But as a Virgo, I'm all about practicality and ease. I really am. I'm all about things that I know work, and astrology works. So I don't spend a lot of time guessing. I do spend a lot of time. I spend time healing. I spend time, facing fears. I spend time doing the work around the traumas that are part of my family system. But I know that I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. I'm not guessing about it. And that is because I have astrology. And astrology is a tool that supports me like a map so that I can know where I am. So how are you, that's why I'm always saying, study your chart so you can understand. It'll just save you time. It'll save you time. It doesn't mean you won't have pain. It doesn't mean the work isn't hard, but you'll know what you need to do. You'll know what you need to do if you study your chart. And because we are living through a deeply evolutionary time on the planet right now, where we're watching an old world totally collapse in on itself and a new one being erected. We're watching an old world collapse on itself and a new one being erected. And because we are in this experience, if you have the courage to show up for it, the universe will support you. I am completely supported. Literally, I was telling you guys the other day about that Thai constellation plant that I had been wanting, and was in an internal conversation about it because I was like, oh, you don't have space for any more plants. You already have 13 plants, and saw one at the store and didn't get it because of my rule, but really wanted it, and went back to the store and it wasn't there, and allowed myself to be with the emotions that I really wanted, and then I went back to the store the next day and it was there because the universe is in sync with me. But I am in sync with my map, the natal chart, that's telling me how to begin to think, how to begin to feel, how to begin to act. What are the people that how am I supposed to be? Like, I'm literally becoming an entirely new person. And it has been an excruciating experience of letting old things, old relationships, old codes come. But I always feel supported because I'm where I'm meant to be. And I know that without a doubt. So with that, you all, I hope this is helpful. Get clear about your relationship model and how you best show up in the world. Understanding that this reality is a mirror. This is a hologram. That is a whole mind fuck inside of itself. It really is. But if you understand, it's an energy system. It all runs on your energy. It doesn't run on what you see. It doesn't run on what your mama said or what the elections are doing or what Trump is. It's running on energy. So your energy can be completely different than what the whole world is going through. And the universe, if you're honoring your energy, the universe is going to honor your energy. But if you are still in an old pattern, functioning, watching the news, talking, then you're going to be in that collective pool and your energy is not being honored because that system is dying. It is dying. And so you are the one who gets to make the shift out of one old mindset and into another. You are the one who gets to do it. All right, you all. If you need any support, you can check out my website at healwithmoonmama.com. I would love to support you. For those of you who are interested in coming to the orientation for Daughters of the 13 Moons, that's going to be on the 16th, which is next Monday. Our next class starts on next Monday. Now, let me say that we are about to, we have space for about 10 more women in Daughters of the 13 Moons. And then we're going to close it. So if you're interested in it, this is the cycle to join, because the momentum and the powers are really starting to grow. And what this community is, this is a community that is designed to support women in learning how to utilize their faculties of creation. Learning how to use them, to practice them, to access them, to heal them, to transform them. Learning that so that you can have what you need to move through this reality, because it is changing. So there will come a time when you will, if you require something, like what I'm saying is that if I want something, I access things through my feeling body, not through my intellect. And as women, most of us don't feel. Our feelings have been backed up by ancestral trauma and self-loathing and this Western world that is a deep illusion. And so we don't have access to how to truly utilize our energy and our power and our magic. And so Daughters of the 13 Moons is where we teach that, so that you can be fully aligned in yourself. So with that, I love y'all so very much. Check out my website, healwithmoonmama.com. Peace and blessings. Happy Monday.